Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Tuckcast with a splash of bourbon presented by Tuckaseegee Fly Shop with locations in Bryson City and Sylva, North Carolina. Be sure to follow the crew on Facebook at Tuckaseegee Fly Shop, Instagram at Tuck Fly Shop, and YouTube at Tuckaseegee Fly Shop for the latest information and instructional videos. Be sure to visit tuckflyshop.com for all things fly fishing in Western North Carolina. Remember, the online store is always open. Today's episode is brought to you by Brady's Handmade Nets. Purchasing a Brady's Handmade Net ensures that you will not only have a net, but an heirloom for generations to enjoy for years to come. Pride, professionalism, and attention to detail are all traits found in a Brady's Handmade Nets. Visit bradyshandmadenets.com for more information. I'm your host, Shannon Big Mess Messer, joined by Bobby the Bearded Wonder Bennett, and Coach Dale Diesel Collins is still out on an assignment. Should we call it assignment?
He's playing.
He's out on assignment.
He's playing.
He's playing. He's not playing hooky, but he's actually out on assignment. Be back soon, though. Be back soon.
All right.
We're back.
We got a new studio,
Ding, ding.
if you will. It's called a fly shop.
That's right. Literally, we're in the fly time.
We had to relocate from our back room because the internet just wasn't working well, and hopefully now the cameras will work. We've had a few weeks here in a row where we kept playing with them and it just didn't want to work out. So now we're out in the fly tying section. You can see all the beautiful fly tying behind Shannon's luscious beard.
Luscious.
He's growing it to be Santa Claus this year.
No, it's wide enough to be Santa Claus.
No, you got a little ways to go.
No, it's there.
You need a little dye.
No, we don't
Put
dye
a little
it.
dye up top.
Dye it, do it jet black. Like Hollywood Hogan. Kind of
man.
black it up through here, leave that part white. No, and in the fly tying area here at the shop, it's will be an area that in October the 17th, mark your calendars, but we'll have the Norvis demo days here at the shop and probably be right here in this general area, kind of close by.
Yeah.
So this will be it.
Should be fun. We got Tim from Norvis,
Tim and
Big Mess, and then Braden.
Braden, not my Braden, but
Braden
another
Miller.
Braden. Another Braden. Braden Miller from Miller Time Flies. That's easy to remember.
Yeah, probably come that second week of September, we'll put out like maybe like a schedule of like, hey, we're going to do this at this time, yada, yada. Maybe a freestyle time where everybody can just come in and play. And
freestyle.
A couple of those throughout the day or something. We'll figure something out.
Absolutely. Kind of look at it, think about it as like a show in some ways.
Yeah, like if you went to a fly show where you can come up, talk, ask questions, look at how they're doing it. And then maybe we'll do like a couple special sessions or something throughout the day where it's like, hey, we're really going to focus on this.
That's right. Absolutely. But here we are. Hopefully everything goes well. The response to our videos the past week has been very good. You folks have looked at our post on our social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, about how to dress the mannequin. A lot of comments. So
it's blown me away.
So
man.
We'll have to reveal that one here soon when Dale gets back in the shop. We'll tally up all those votes and we will dress the mannequin.
That thing's cut.
I don't know who's winning.
It's a fit mannequin.
Oh, it's not me. No doubt.
When you were in the Navy, you were probably close to that, right?
Boot camp.
All them push-ups and stuff.
Boot camp.
What you doing?
A little bit different, but when you get out to the fleet, things change.
Yeah.
As long as you got to make your time, do
too many M&Ms.
Do your your PT test, and they do all that stuff like that. But it's a ripped mannequin.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Well, besides the October 17th Norvis event, a couple other things. The Hook, Line, and Drinker Festival that what year would this been? Fifth? Fourth?
I think it's rounding through there.
Yeah, somewhere in there, fourth or fifth. I can't remember. It all runs together. It has been rescheduled until next year. It was always a fun event to have all the breweries out there and some fly tying stuff and rods to cast and apparel and all that. But just with the COVID-19 thing, the organizers, i.e. the Chamber of Commerce here in Sylva in Jackson County, they decided to just push it till next year. So I don't know if they mentioned it was going to be spring or fall. I know this year they'd moved it to the fall, like originally. It wasn't because of COVID. They just said, hey, we're going to try it in the fall this year.
Right.
So I guess now they just said, hey, it's better just to push it out and just wait until next year. And hopefully things will look better.
Thanks, Governor.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Governor.
Now, if we want to stand in groups of 25 together, we might be able to do it, right? Isn't that the thing? 25, no more than 25 people in a group or something like that. We just go out there and be like, hey, we got 6 groups of 25 standing here.
Is that how they do those protests then?
I don't know how that
works.
We're
groups of 25. That's how they're getting by with it.
Who knows?
Beats all eyewitness. You can close Main Street and have a protest.
We also have fall DHs coming. So, again, I think we mentioned this last podcast or two, but
yeah, it's coming.
Book now for guided trips because they're filling up. We took several trips today still, so for that time frame.
Those are some smart people.
October through December. Don't forget December. A lot of folks kind of fall off, and I know it's holiday season and stuff, but man, December fish is great too. So don't be scared to book in that first, second, third week of December. We actually do usually quite a few trips on Christmas week too, but that's because people are traveling and here.
We need to let them in on a little secret. When you're up here with your family, it's a great way to escape.
Yeah, there you go.
It's kind of I've kind of been told that by folks that I'm out on the water with. They're able to escape. So maybe Cousin Eddie's come along that you didn't expect. It's a great way for Clark to get away.
Don't let your significant other listen to this podcast.
She may want them to escape.
That's true too.
It's just kind of twofold. Oh, honey, go fishing. I'm going to go.
When the wife calls and books the trip for him.
Perusing Main Street, see what we can find.
Or vice versa.
That's right. Absolutely.
The husband calls and books a trip for his wife. Who knows?
Yeah.
So Dale is hopefully coming back tomorrow from Montana. Seems like they had a good trip. Man, some awesome photos. They got some big cutthroat and stuff. Like it was looked like a fun time. Looked like the weather cooperated. So Shannon leaves next Sunday, Monday. When do you fly out?
Sunday.
So he'll be gone. Usually after that's going to be the last one for this year, but usually after that's done, we start compiling the list of people that want to go. So if you are interested in that next year, and I know that we still got the virus going on, yada, 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 we understand that, but there is flexibility with this a lot. In fact, this year we actually moved one of the trips, so it's possible, but go ahead and call the shop and say, hey, put me on the list of somebody to kind of call before you publicly advertise it. Because once it goes out to the public, it's first come, first serve. So if it's something that you think, hey, next year I'd really like to go, and I think we're going to try to compile like a little video. It may be like snapshot photos into a video, or it might actually be some recorded video, but that might be something we put out so that y'all can kind of see what's going on. But it was a fun time. This year they had a chef in-house basically that cooked them meals, and that wasn't something because of COVID. That was something that we planned for.
Yes.
And we just kind of set it up that way this year and actually worked out fantastic. So don't know if we'll do that next year. It just kind of depends on what everything is. Sometimes it's fun to go out, get you a Montana mule.
Sure. Absolutely.
Those type of things.
Go eat in the bus all around,
But yeah, definitely just call the shop and say, hey, can you put me on the list for, a phone call for Montana? I want to be notified first. And maybe we'll do it like a special, reach out before we put it out to the public.
Yeah. It's a great way to go. If you've never been before, it takes away all the uncertainty, and it is real easy to go out there on your own and be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And this is a way that eliminates that from happening. You're going to get overwhelmed with all the sights and the sounds and the smells, but you're not worrying about, trying to coordinate your where am I going to fish today? Or where do I go here? Or where am I lodging at? Oh, geez, I don't know where I'm at.
You don't even have to worry about driving.
It's all great. Taken care of.
You just get in the car and enjoy.
We just look like the FBI rolling up. Yeah. But we make it happen.
A couple black SUVs rolling around.
Well, last year was interesting, black and white.
They do have some silver ones. Every now and then. So.
Bobby got cut off too, man.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was wild, going up to see Old Faithful there. But yeah, it's a great way to do it. If you've never done it before, it's a wonderful way to do it. They had repeats on this trip with us again this year, and then the familiarity for us with the, with the guides and stuff like that is great. And
they're super. Man, the guides are awesome.
They're awesome. Nicholas, I'm coming, bud.
Super professional. They're awesome.
We're coming. It's a great time. Looking forward to flying out Sunday, and appreciate the opportunity to get back out there. And you guys will hold the fort down. It'll be cool. It'll be good. All good.
We'll see.
All good.
See what happens.
All good. Nice. All right.
Well, what are we talking about today?
Well is a deep subject.
Well is a deep subject.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that folks don't realize happen in a fly shop.
Yeah.
Such as this product does not mysteriously show up on its own.
Yeah. So we figured we'd give y'all a little insight today on what happens in a fly shop. And before we get into it, I may try to call Dale here later on and just see if we can touch base if he's available. Hopefully he's fishing.
Yeah.
They are 2 hours behind us. We tried last week and he didn't answer.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff that goes into running the back end of the fly shop. The thing that most people never see. Now, a lot of the locals that probably come in here more often than not, they see us when we're like unpacking boxes and getting a big order in or something like that. But most people don't know how that box even shows up, what goes into it, when did we order it, all that type of stuff that goes into actually getting inventory here. So me and Shannon figured we'd kind of go through that with you because I think it's interesting, know how stuff actually works. You ever watch that, How It's Made or whatever?
I do. I like How It's Made.
Yeah. It's kind of that. We're just not as good and probably as that will be, but we'll do our best.
That's right.
So
we don't have the graphics.
So we're actually
sound effects.
The reason I thought about this to talk about it is because we're actually somewhat starting that process in a lot of ways for next year already. Here in the last month, me and Shannon have already started to do what we call preseason orders. And anybody that's been in retail probably knows what a preseason order is. But you basically get shown the product and, we get to see what's getting discontinued, what's new, why they've changed stuff that they've had warranty issues with, and this is the reason they've changed it. Things like that. We get to see if it's new shirts. You get to see a bunch of different colorways, rods and reels. If sometimes we get to cast the rods if they've got them. They don't always have the new rods that are coming out, but sometimes they do. So we get to cast them. Except for last week, it was pouring rain when the one new rod came in. Mm-hmm. So, it just depends. We get to try stuff out, not necessarily things that. Sometimes we get stuff that we can actually try and keep. I've gotten a pair of boots. You've gotten a pair of boots for us to demo and say, man, these are nice. Let's order these in or whatnot. But it also helps in those aspects to be able to actually relay info to the customer. Yes. When something just hits the shelf, like say it comes in next week, if one of us has never worn it, we don't know really what to tell you about it other than what's been told to us.
Right.
So it's nice to actually have a little feedback ourselves and go, man, that thing was awesome, or it's not the best thing out there. And we're pretty blunt when it comes to that. If we don't like something, we tell everybody.
Yeah. And that's one of the hardest parts about this job is we are currently looking at product that's going to come next spring and kind of in some cases carry us all the way through summer, depending on the vendor. Some vendors are a little bit different, but a lot of this product is carrying us through. And for us to make sure that we've got good numbers for people here, the right product mixture, because you can have a lot of something and not have the right stuff, but have the good product mixture you got to have, the right price points, because things are all over the place when it comes to prices. So that is very difficult to do. So we're forecasting. So some of you students at Western's on the business that probably talks about forecasting and things. That's actually what we're doing. Looking at reports, through our point of sale system, planning for growth. This year is kind of unique because
that's a way to put it.
When we came back and opened up, one of the first things I did one whole day was to call our vendors and said, yes, we just go ahead and send everything to us. We'll take it. But then some of them were closed or they had stopped production. And that's why you see some gaps out there. And honestly, knock on wood, as the old saying goes, we're in pretty good shape compared to some people, and we're very blessed with that. But we do have holes.
Yeah, there's some things that's just tough to get right now.
We go and order, and it says 0 in stock, but we can still go ahead and place the order. Sometimes it shows up, and sometimes it doesn't. Normal year, that wouldn't necessarily be the case, but it is this year, so it's a little different, which will kind of affect this time next year.
Oh, absolutely it will. It's definitely a ripple of it.
Will really, as we start to look at reports, they could really be skewed one way or the other on how products actually performed in the shop and what you, the consumer, thinks about it. Our opinions of rods and reels and boots and waders vary from yours. We like certain things. Bobby likes certain things. Dell likes certain things. Baker likes certain things, and Preston, and so on and so forth. We all like different stuff.
I like my new shirt.
I know. I did. I noticed that's a nice new
shirt.
I got it. That's pretty nice. I was like, I like the color.
Sorry.
I like the color, but no, I mean, it is.
I like the color.
But some people wouldn't like that.
That's right.
So you can't order it because you know what? I like it. Well, we still have to keep an open mind that that color right there may perform well, and hopefully the reps give us good intel instead of bad intel.
Yeah.
And that's important too, especially with a rod. If there's a rod that we've not had a chance to get in our hands and play with, are we blindly ordering a rod at that point in time? So there's a little bit of a risk in there for us, and I think we're progressively conservative when it comes to ordering some of that product. We want to have quality stuff for you here. So.
Yeah, it's all hit and miss. Sometimes it's like, man, we should have ordered more, and then other times it's like, wow, we shouldn't have ordered that at all.
Yes.
So it goes in cycles. You never know. Things go up and down and in waves, and the new product's hot, and in 3 months it's not. And, it's just all. But that's what we're trying to do right now is we're seeing new products possibly. Or we're just getting the new catalog that has the same products in it, but we're still trying to revamp like, oh, this sold well, this didn't. Let's not order that. Let's get this instead, yada, yada, yada. So we're kind of going through that whole process with almost everything you see in the shop. And most of these vendors either do, a spring and a fall, or they do a 12-month season. Like Shannon said, some of it will carry us through the entire year. Some of it will carry us until, July or August, depending on what it is. So we have to kind of map that out and watch spending and go, what's cash flow? And, can we pay the bills when the stuff comes in versus, is it going to sell fast? I mean, there's so much in it. And at the end of the day, it is all total risk because COVID could hit again.
Sure. Absolutely. A lot of things. Election hits.
Who knows?
What's going to happen? That's absolutely correct.
There's so much to it.
Consumer confidence.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a necessity sport. This is a luxury sport.
Yeah.
We just happen to live in a place where a lot of locals do it, but we got a lot of people who come
it's a
here.
destination.
It's a destination.
It's a destination.
We kind of have a mix of both.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unique, but it is a risk. Bobby's correct on that. Him and Dale are assuming those risks, and they assume the risk of having me as an employee and as anybody else. I mean, it is a risk, and they have that on their mind, and it weighs heavily on them. And,
some days.
Oh, I mean, it is. I mean, if you look at markets and the pandemic, heck, I probably wouldn't have slept, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you start doing, gosh, will we open back up? Or, they painted doom and gloom.
It's one of them things, man. Everybody can do it. You just get used to it.
Right. But, still. But
everybody's got stress in their life.
That's the risk that these guys assumed. But, product, I thought that I had done a decent job and bumped up the Fishpond switchback weighting belt system. No.
Sold them out, man.
I mean,
which is a good thing.
It's good and bad,
that you're not carrying product for months and months and months.
Right.
It's nice to see it turn over, but you also hate to miss a sale.
Right.
But that's going to happen. You can't have it all 100% of the time.
Right. One of the questions we get asked a lot is, do you have this in the back?
Yeah. There is no storage room here, really.
And we don't, for the most part. There's no back storage here. So we tried to make sure everything that we have is out ready for purchase. So we don't have a back stock area per se.
But yeah, once we go through the preseason, looking at the orders, estimating what we need, then we have to enter everything into some type of computer program, depending on what it is. And that ranges. We won't even get into that because it's something that's just totally off the wall. But everybody's got their own way that you order with them. So that's always fun to be like, man, this one sucks compared to the other guys. And, you get used to one way and then next year they change it. And it's like, oh, you got to relearn it again. It's like anything with computers. But we go through all that. And most of these companies, we have reps. So we deal with a rep, not necessarily the company always, but we always can call the company and go through it. But once we kind of get all that entered, then we're somewhat set for next spring, maybe the entire year, depending on the brand. Some brands, again, run the entire year depending on what they do. But we still have fill-in orders that we do. Yeah. I mean, these are all back-end things. So, fly tying is not one that we get to preseason a lot for. So some of the fly tying vendors don't. So Shannon, I don't know, what do you do it like once a month maybe?
Yeah, try to
give or take.
Absolutely. A little bit more here lately, just trying to beef it up because product's been so hard to get.
Yeah. You're kind of planning for the future to make sure we have it if we need it. But, that's something that he has to kind of keep an eye on. And then we have people that request stuff for fly tying. So we kind of keep a running list and try to put it on the next order and, maybe reach out to them and say, hey, we got some of that in, or, hey, it's out of stock. And they say they won't have it for 6 months.
That's it.
And it's amazing for fly tying, man. A lot of the stuff, especially the naturals on the wall, hunting season plays a huge role in it. Like I remember when there was a bucktail shortage, you couldn't get bucktails. This was maybe before you worked here. I can't remember if it was or not. Man, I called everybody that had fly tying, and it got so bad that to get the large bucktail, they would put 2 small bucktails in the pack to give you a large bucktail. So, hunting seasons play a big role in what we can get and what we can't. I mean, what's the thing that we can never get that everybody always wants to feather?
Coke Delio?
No. It's the partridge.
Partridge.
That's what it is. I know it's behind me.
Partridge is funny.
Man, that is tough to come by.
Like
Hungarian partridge
like
is
that,
tough.
like that whole skin.
Yeah.
You can get the whole skin. It's going to cost you a pretty premium, but you got the whole skin, and there's a lot of use to it. A lot of folks, they're on a budget.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand that. But feathers are wild.
Yeah.
Trying to get feathers at times and stuff. So it's difficult. Right now, hooks and beads.
Yeah, hooks and beads are tough.
We're running into problems with hooks and beads. Stuff we preseason where we didn't come. You try to do fill-ins, it's not available. So that's kind of a tough one right now is hooks and beads. But we just keep plugging away. So fly tying's a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. It's a different animal, and it comes and goes. It's a wave. So for instance, let's say that Braden shows his cardiac arrest fly and he's using dragon tails and stuff on it. That may become very popular, but once that wave is over, it's over.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what next? And
ebbs and flows
you hit
of
the
retail.
next thing. So you have your consistent products that you have in fly tying, such as tools, threads, dubbings, and things like that are mainstays. And then things kind of come and they go away. They come and they go away. And it's like a revolving door. The fly tying's a smidge different.
It is.
For sure.
It's a pain in the you-know-what. That's the reason I like Shannon does it.
Yeah. And then Bobby hit on something. It's very true for us. And Dale was here. He'd echo the same thing. Man, some ordering platforms are easier than others. I don't mind saying it. Orvis, yours sucks. I know you went to Elastic. It's still bad. It's bad. You put no effort into it. I'm calling you out. It's awful.
It needs a lot of help.
It's awful. I appreciate what you're trying to do, but my 21-year-old son could have done that. And that's it's just a fact.
He's pretty good at it.
I even know that. No, that's awful. It's awful. And then with that too, we have reps we have some good reps, but some you find that are a little bit more knowledgeable in the products than some others. Yeah. Some that just can retain knowledge and throw numbers.
They just retain it all.
You're like, golly, man.
Give you, they regurgitate it, and you're like, holy smoke.
Yeah.
I got to go read the book to remember all that.
It's amazing. Yeah. It really is. And you're like, whoa. Yeah.
So, that's kind of the more of the side of ordering. And then once we order everything usually comes in on a ship date. You usually can pick your ship dates and stuff like that, unless it's a fill-in order. Fill-in orders is like ASAP as soon as they package it and ship it. But the preseason side of it, you get to pick, usually they give you how many days or how many ship dates you'd like, but there's a certain extent. They won't give you 27 ship dates. Yeah. They might give you 3 or something like that. And you get to choose if you want all 3 or what. So you have your ship dates. Hopefully the stuff ships, on time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it ships early, which is always fine, but there's all those things to go through. And then it shows up. And I remember that one time, how many boxes was it showed up in wasn't it like 27 boxes or something?
From Sims?
Sims.
Oh, my gosh. There wasn't enough room. Jack built like an arch with them. There were so many boxes. You could walk under the boxes.
Yeah, it was
big.
A lot of boxes that year.
Yeah.
That year we brought everything in at once from Sims, and it worked out fine, but it was one of them things like checking it in took a while.
Yes.
So when it comes in, we have to go through the box. You got to find the shipping label, the price list, all that stuff. And you have to start checking everything in the inventory. And some things are easier than others. A box of waders, awesome, quick and easy.
Oh, yeah.
But a box full of tippet and leader and tippet rings and indicators and whatever else, all those little items, that takes a while.
Takes some time.
So fly tying, if you get a preseason on some of these things from a whole box of fly tying will take a while. It can take you all day to do one little box.
And then what makes it even worse is the SKU.
Yep.
UPC, stuff like that. Once again, Orvis, here to tell in. It doesn't carry over to the point of sale system. So that makes it take longer. It's awful. But anyway, we do that stuff for you folks, man. And that's
right. Yeah, no, you know what? It's actually fun when a box comes in. I get excited when I see them, and I'm like, oh, what's in it?
Christmas.
Because by the time you've ordered it to when it actually ships, you forgot what you ordered in a way. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what did I order? Let me see.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, we shouldn't have ordered that. We still got 20 of them. But
well, we missed.
They didn't sell well through the fall like we thought they would.
We missed the boat on that one. Then we're trying to think of the excuse why it didn't sell well.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, it rained a lot.
That's right. We got a lot of rain.
The wind was blowing out of the north.
Dude,
the fishing wasn't good.
What are you most excited to see when something's coming? What are you
out of all the products?
Yeah.
Man, well, that's a good question, Shannon.
Yeah.
You should have prepped me for that. You know what? It's probably shirts and apparel.
All right. Well, you're excited about the one today.
Yeah. Because I know what a fly line's going to look like. You know, shirts, we get to see them maybe, but it's totally hard to remember what that color was from, 10 months ago when you saw it. So it's kind of cool to see that. Waders, boots, they're all kind of similar. You kind of know what to expect there. But I'd say apparel just because there's the unknown of like, what color did I get? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the blue one. Okay. Everything else you can pretty much remember. Okay. Hats would be in there too.
Hats, I like the hats. Man, we see it. This is the thing. We don't get to see the hats.
Yeah, we don't always see the hats.
We don't always get to see the hats.
We get to see maybe like a weird, what do you call those things in the books? It's not a picture.
It's not a picture. It's just.
It's like a computer rendering of it.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, what do we get here? Oh.
Yeah.
And we're like, yay, or ooh.
That blue is not really blue.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was going to be darker.
And that's the same way on waders too.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to watch the colors on that as well. So those are things I kind of more like the hats, the rods, and the packs.
Yeah, the packs are good.
Packs are good.
Yeah.
They're like you said, terminal tackle. That's
the hard goods are what they are. Yeah. You know what indicators look like and spools of tippet and stuff.
Yeah. Except this year, we were kind of wondering about the airlock.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, waiting on the airlocks.
Waiting on the airlocks. Because it was different. It's biodegradable. It's foam. It's kind of biodegradable.
I do remember when we first opened, man. Those like the first shipments of everything. Me and Dale were like kids, man. That was crazy.
Like, check out this jacket.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. We were so small and everything that it was like, and we got 3 of them, and it doesn't fill it up at all. But we got them.
That's right. You had 3 to sell.
So,
that's exactly right.
That was fun.
Yeah.
But, so all that stuff comes in. We have to go through it, check, make sure we got everything, make sure there's no discretions of they forgot something or they sent us too many or yada, yada, yada. Check it all in, put it in inventory. One thing about retail that if you've ever worked anywhere in retail, whether it be Walmart or Lowe's or small business like us, is inventory is never right.
Ooh, inventory.
Myself and Shannon could go through this shop right now and inventory the whole thing and something would be wrong just because of human error. It just is what it is. You count 2, but you scanned 3 by accident or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you try to adjust inventory, make sure it's as accurate as possible, especially with having an online store. By the way, go check that out, www.flyshop.com.
Yep.
Because you hate it when somebody orders something on the online store and then you find out, ooh, we were actually out. We didn't have that last one.
Right.
And it happens.
Sure.
That's just part of inventory, and it's a beast. That's probably one of the hardest things we have to deal with is keeping inventory as close as possible, which it's really probably at a crazy level right now. End of year inventory reconciling. It's going to be crazy. But anyway, so we do that, and then we have to stock it all. And being that we have 2 locations, if it came into Bryson City or if it came into Silva, now most everything comes to Silva because it's a larger shop. We have more room to kind of lay out 27 boxes if that ever happens again. But, we have to actually put it up. We have to split it. How many does Bryson need? How many did we order when we were ordering? Did we think Bryson would need this many or Silva would need this many? So we have to go through and go, hey, it shows Bryson has 3 and Silva has 7. Let's send X number to Bryson and keep this many here. There's all those things to go into.
Right.
So there's a lot of steps. And what's crazy is by the time you pick up that pack or shirt or hat, not to mention what happens when it doesn't even come to shop, but we might have touched that thing 7, 8, 10 times before it actually got put on the shelf to actually be sold.
Yep.
So it's amazing how many times that thing gets moved around. Like I said, not mentioning UPS or FedEx or the factory and all that stuff. So it's kind of cool to see how it gets. And then it's there for you to come in and buy 7 of them if you want.
There you go.
Or Absolutely. 3 of everything. I always tell people to buy 3 of everything. You need 3 of everything in here.
There you go.
So
rules of 3.
That's kind of the back end from an inventory standpoint and what happens there.
Sure.
Which I think, a lot of people can appreciate because they've probably done it in some even if they weren't a manager or an owner, but they were an employee somewhere. Mm-hmm. They probably had to deal with messing with inventory. You go to a department store, you see them all the time dressing mannequins and moving stuff around and racks and
right.
hangers and
yeah,
all that stuff. Then it also comes to displaying. Displaying stuff. Making it look sellable, and
Right.
who knows? There's probably tens of thousands of studies on how to display retail items to make them sell the best, and we are not experts.
No, we are not.
But we move stuff around all the time.
We do move stuff around, and every person's eye they look at things differently, and that's just us here in the shop. And Preston would look at it differently, and I would, and vice versa, and Dale, and so on and so forth. But moving things around is also perception.
Oh yeah.
So when it comes to sales, it's perception, right?
Yeah.
And that's how it is. And this is sales. And with that, we will have a fishing report too a little bit later. We didn't mention that earlier.
Yeah, we'll knock
but
one out.
The product presentation goes a long way in how people perceive the product.
Yeah.
In the window, not in the window. How's a mannequin dressed? We maybe take it a little bit further than some fly shops, which is unique. We put hats on them and the shirts, and
Shannon puts like the sleeves in their pockets so it looks like somebody's putting their hands in there.
That's right, man. You gotta assume like you're out there. We got to get you that mental picture going. Dale's got some ideas about some stuff he wants to do in the shop when he gets back. We looked at the rod racks about a year ago with what we did.
Yeah.
The lights.
We are always trying to come up with something different.
Sure.
I think part of it's because we're bored in January maybe too, but who knows? It gives us something to work on.
That's right. It just makes the store look better.
Yeah.
Always improve.
That's the.
We just always want to improve. That's it.
I will give y'all the true insider. Having a business partner, which Dale's not here to talk about this, but he can defend himself later. It's like being married outside of your marriage, if that makes sense. It's a give and take, just like being married. If any of you out there are married, which most of you probably are that listen, other than you young folk, the biggest arguments me and Dale have ever had has been over ordering. I mean, it's crazy, like opinions on what would be better than this or that, and how many to get and stuff. And it's one of those things, man. That's part of being in business. Sometimes you're gonna everybody's not in a good mood. But I remember some times where I've walked out of the shop and he's walked out of the shop.
Wow.
So it's just one of the things you got to cool off a minute, because it's like somebody said something they shouldn't have. It's just how it is. But
I haven't witnessed any of those moments.
No, you haven't. No,
just so you know.
And it's not like we do it every year,
right.
But it was more, I think, because of the stress of it when we were like in year 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And we were like, that number is really big on this order. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like, if we can't sell that, we're going to sink ourselves, And I think the stress of that is probably what it brought it up. But yeah, that's fear. Exactly what it is.
It's fear.
We're both
Absolutely.
fearful of, messing up. We've said this before. You're one bad decision from going out of business or going to jail or anything.
Well, I remember when I walked in down there and this is in Bryson City. This is before I was working for the guys. It's like all of a sudden you're like a Sims store. Like, wow. I mean, there were Sims everywhere. Sims here, Sims there, Sims everywhere. And everything but Sims underwear. And it was Sims.
We could have got that. They
Sims
had it
rain jackets, Sims shirts, Sims pants. I mean, it was everything Sims. And I literally looked at y'all and said, y'all a Sims store? I mean, it looked like a full-blown Sims store.
A lot of orange.
There was a lot, and I was like, wow. But that was a big turning point for you guys.
No risk.
There.
You got to take the risk to get the reward.
And then look where you're at now. Oh, yeah.
A lot of luck.
Yeah, a lot of luck, a lot of good people.
A lot of good people, a lot of luck, man.
A lot of good
kind of couldn't do it without the customers, that's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of good ones.
I'm glad they keep coming.
Yeah, we got some good ones.
But, yeah, that's kind of the back end of inventory. I don't know if there's anything else kind of to add to that, kind of how that works. That's, there's a lot more to the back end, but I don't think that's really important when you start getting into, paying bills and all that stuff.
Sure.
That's like running any other business. It's just you're paying a bill to a different vendor. So
yeah, I mean, it just kind of falls in that fly shop myth that you're always getting the fish and things like that. This is the other tasks like this that have to be done for us to have a shop to be open. So when you say, hey, why don't you have that particular product? It may be because it's not shipped yet.
Yeah.
And even if you pre-season order it, it still may become a back order shipment for whatever reason.
Happened a lot.
It happens.
So a lot.
So it's not us. It's not that we maybe didn't take the time to order it or felt like it was important to bring in. Sometimes it's out of our control once we hit that send button. And hopefully, we make good decisions, and sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. But for the most part, we got something for everybody.
Pretty much. Even that little girl that bought some of that pink ostrich herl the other day.
She was all excited.
She was
about
like
that
3 years
cane.
old and bought her some pink ostrich herl because
That's
it was
right.
pretty.
She is going to do nothing with that except play with it.
Yeah, that's it. Probably like stuff it in her Barbie doll or something.
No.
Maybe in her hat.
There you go. I mean, she's ready. She's preparing
What
for
was
the
that?
Easter.
Yankee Doodle song where you stuff a, what was it, macaroni? What was
Yeah,
it?
I never understood that one. Yankee Doodle went to town.
Yeah.
You know,
Didn't they put a feather in his cap or
stuck
something?
a feather in his hat and called it macaroni.
That's it, yeah.
What the heck was that deal, man?
Somebody comment and tell us what that's about.
Please.
Because I don't know either. I remember singing it.
Can we
Anyways,
say it now?
what's that?
Are we okay by saying Yankee Doodle now?
I guess so.
Okay. We just said
Yankee
it.
Doodle.
Yankee Doodle went to town. Man, that's so funny.
You want to try to call Dale?
We can try to call Dale.
I got to take my camera off.
He's got to realize how to figure out how to do this here for sure. And
I'm just going to put Shannon up here. So
going to put Big Mess up here. Big Mess. Big Mess going to go get his hair trimmed up this Wednesday. Surprisingly. So I've had it cut one time since the pandemic there at Miss Crystal. So I want to go see her and get that taken care of there and see what we come out with. Don't know if it'll be a mullet or not. Tanya's not too excited about that.
She's not?
She's not. She said no.
I think my wife would say no to a mullet also.
Braden kind of wanted one, and I thought he's going to let it grow. Then I got home, and he had it cut short again. He goes, no, I want to let it grow next time in the winter.
Trying to connect here.
So we'll see.
While we're connecting, I'm going to let Shannon do the fishing report.
All right.
Fishing report.
That's
fishing report.
Fishing report. Fishing report. Did you play video?
I will play it now. You starting it?
Yeah, go
All right,
ahead.
here comes the fishing report.
All right, everybody. This is where we need like the news reporter and our little stuff and the typewriters in the background as we're doing the fishing report. But fishing has been pretty good. The water temperatures are still staying down in the 60s. Early morning it's going to be cooler than it is in the afternoon, but late evening, I got out there last evening late, fished about as dark as I could see in the canopy cover out there. Was really focusing in on some larger fish. I was working some water that's going to have a bigger fish in it. Moved one big brown, all top water, hooked a good rainbow. I was in a very tough spot. And that fish ran downstream, got over a couple of, some turbulent, heavy water and just broke, which is understandable. So that happened. And, we, turned out to be a pretty good evening, pretty happy with that. And then, you guys probably seen me there the other morning when I was up on Smoky Mountain National Park. I had a good morning up there, good activity. The fish were real receptive to dry flies. So anything in like that Chernobyl type family worked really well. I know that these other guys are having success on some smaller nymphs. Sizes 16 to 20s and some zebra midges there for sure. Pheasant tails with a little flashback have been pretty productive too. Still a lot of case caddises on the rocks. I haven't seen any of the October caddis yet. It's still a smidge early. But with that being said, the watershed I was in last evening, I have seen them this early. I'd expect to start seeing those show up here about mid-September. So the orange bite would really come on too. If you're doing some backcountry camping, you should do pretty good. The water levels are good. They're really good for this time of year, as a matter of fact. I've seen them much lower before in the past, but the water levels are good.
They are good.
They are really good. The tailwater stuff is still a smidge difficult there. Still a lot of staining, so the smallmouth has kind of been on that just because of the color. The times that it's been clear and Preston's got out, it's actually been pretty decent, but we've been kind of fighting the staining on that there for sure. If you guys are going to, come up, this weekend, just come up, be ready to look at some small streams, something inside the national park, national forest. If you want to get super small on some of those, the wild brookies out there, they like just, some anything from like a 12 to a 16 dry fly, your favorite, whether it's a caddis, a parachute type fly, whether it's a, like a purple parachute, purple haze, a parachute Adams, those will produce you some fish for sure. So we just got a ding.
It's because my phone's connected for Bluetooth.
His phone's connected. Well, cool. We're well on our way.
All right, let's try this.
Absolutely. And if you folks have any questions about that, don't hesitate to shoot us an email, and we're glad to help you with that. We're going to see if we got Big Dell, Coach Diesel Collins here.
See if he'll answer.
We'll see. See if it'll be two
He's
for
probably
two.
fishing.
I hope he is, and he answers.
He said he drugged John all over the place yesterday.
Did he really?
He said John was tired, so I didn't know if they were going to just like rest it up today.
You have reached the voicemail.
I thought he was picking up.
If you would,
Man.
leave a message and I'll return your
You
call.
want to leave him a
as soon as
nasty
possible.
message?
No,
Thanks.
leave a nasty one. Just leave a nice one.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Everybody's disappointed.
Hello, Dale. Shannon here from Tuck Fly Shop in the Tuckcast with a splash of bourbon.
Everybody's disappointed.
Hope you're doing well. Look forward to seeing you here at the shop here in the next couple of days. Hope John had a good trip and have safe travels, man.
We're all disappointed.
Oh,
You didn't pick up.
Bobby's being rough.
All
Have
right.
a good one.
We'll see you.
There you go. So there we go. So yeah, that's it.
Well, we don't get to talk to Montana
It's not.
or wherever they're at. They might
That's
be
right.
in Idaho today.
Could be in Idaho. All right.
Well,
There we go.
I feel good about everything.
I do. And truly, I mean this. If there's any questions you folks have, don't hesitate to hit us up. When new product comes out, we do our best to get our hands on it and stuff, but we don't always have that opportunity, like Bobby said, to cast and things. And I will tell you, come September, we got some exciting news. I can't announce it till September 1, but looking forward to that announcement for sure out there. But, looking forward to that. But if you have a question about the fishing, if you want to book a trip, I took several bookings today for October. The calendar's starting to look colorful, and that's a good thing. We want a colorful calendar.
Yes, we do.
So that's good. So keep that in mind. And
October 17th.
October 17th.
Put it on the calendar.
Remember that. And after I get back from out west, we're going to try to get Baker and these other guys try to get together a little montage of some of the stuff out west, so you have an idea. And we certainly would love to host you on a trip out in Montana, Wyoming, in Big Sky Country.
Yeah. Let's do it.
We need to, and hopefully maybe there from maybe Argentina. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. Thanks, COVID.
Yeah.
That's what Bobby Dale's saying. Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, we were supposed to go check out Argentina for destination trips, and yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I've never been.
Yeah. Worst things that could happen.
That's one place I've not been is Argentina. All right. Well, cool deal, man. Hope everybody likes where we're at. Let us know. Comment. Say, hey, it looked good. The lighting. I think the lighting's better.
The lighting is much
Lighting's
better.
much
out here.
better.
Yeah.
It's actually cooler for us out here, so comfort level.
And
is
yeah,
much
anybody
better.
that comes in the shop gets to see the setup in some ways.
That's right. Absolutely.
So
Cool.
I would love at some point to do like live podcasts where people are here and we can just bring random people up and say, sit down at the mic.
That's right.
And be like, where are you from? What are you doing? Why are you here?
It could be dangerous.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah, it could be dangerous. But yeah, living on the wild side.
We could do a podcast-a-thon.
Podcast-a-thon. That's right.
I don't know what we donate money to something. Have somebody answering the phone. Like they can call in
Absolutely.
and talk to us on.
Oh,
that'd be
man,
cool.
We could be going down somewhere.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
We'll see what we can do
Some
with that. Might be
conservation
fun.
project or something like that
Yeah.
for sure. But as always, man, it's great. We're very fortunate to be where we're at. Probably come up episode number 30, I think.
Oh, sweet.
Getting close. All right. I got to go home and do some stuff, man. All right. Everybody, thanks for listening to the Tuckcast with a Splash of Bourbon, sponsored by Brady's Handmade Nets. Be sure to follow Tuckaseegee Fly Shop on all the major social media platforms for all the latest happenings and latest videos. And there's some good ones up there, folks. Trust me, some good ones. Have a question or comment, send them to info@tuckflyshop.com. Be sure to visit us at 530 West Main Street, Silva, or 3 Depot Street, Ryson City. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see everybody next week. Take care, everybody.